Good morning, everyone. My name is Joe Hotshot Tony Rockenbach. I wanted to welcome you all to the National Capital Curling Center, home of the Potomac Curling Club and the 74th Annual Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel. On our featured sheet today, we have a B event game between Team Schiner out of the Ardsley Curling Club and Team Glessner out of the Philadelphia Curling Club. Both teams come in as all the other B event participants at a 1-1 record. Schiner started their first game with a 10-0 shutout against Folger out of Triangle, and then lost their second game yesterday on the featured sheet against the Miley rink from Broomstone 7-2. The Glessner rink took an opposite route to the B event, losing their first game to Conley from the Nutmeg rink 7-5, and then defeating the Fields rink from the Schenectady Curling Club yesterday 6-5. So their leads are doing the coin toss now to decide who's going to have hammer and color. And once we get started, we will do the starting lineups and get to the action. So thanks again for joining in. Good morning. I want to say hi to Heather, who's working the cameras again. Good morning. And let's get this thing started. It appears that the toss was won by, you know what, I don't know. Philly. Philly won the toss, and nope, I didn't. I'm wrong. Ardsley won the toss, and they will be throwing the cherries. Philadelphia will be throwing the lemons, and we're going to get this game started. Here is Larry Knopf, the lead for the Philadelphia Glessner rink, throwing a center guard. Supers are on it pretty early. Again, first end ice, typically it's going to be kind of slow. This doesn't look like it has enough gas at all, but maybe they could prove me wrong. And they did not. That's a hog stone for Larry. Here's the lead for the Schiner rink. This is Seth Altman. Once Seth throws that rock, I'd like to let everybody know that I currently do not have the chat feature in front of me, so for everyone who is chatting and asking any questions to us or has any comments, I'm sorry I won't be able to address them personally, so please just talk amongst yourselves. I will also do my best to update everyone on all the scores of the other games. Once the scores are hung for the other sheets, I will announce them as quickly as possible, and then maybe through the fourth end we'll also get an update on all the sheets as well. So please bear with us. And that's, okay, so the first rock for Schiner made it into the house. A little hard to see from my vantage point right now. Here's a second rock from Glessner rink. Again, this is Larry Knopf. Rocks away. Guy needs to come over. Sweepers are on it. Looks a little light. Although it's settling pretty nice. It's going to tap on the red, spill away to the left. Andy wants that one to go. Here comes Seth Altman's second rock for the Ardsley rink, or for the Ardsley rink. And he really wants him to work that for line. It's starting to fade away. It's going to fade away, and it's going to flash through. Other action today, we have Sheet A. Again, these are all B event games. On Sheet A, we have Broomba and Stones Go Boom. That is the Sandberg rink for Broomba. Stones Go Boom is skipped by TJ Kasser. Both of those rinks are from Potomac Curling Club. On Sheet C, we have Todd Ebert from Broomstones against Yushi Yang from Ardsley. And on Sheet D, we have another all-Potomac game, Brandon Corrali, the hometown hotties, against It's the Hat, skipped by Alan McNeil. Hey, Rhonda. Here comes Ardsley's rock down. Again, trying to get rid of that yellow stone. Matt Schiner telling the sweepers to get it on it really hard. Did a pretty nice job of holding that line. And they got a piece, but they didn't get it all out. Ardsley is shot stone though. Here comes John Gillespie with his stone for Philadelphia. This is his second rock. Here's a second stone for Jeff Klein. The Schiner ring, excuse me. Rockets way, looks like he's going to try to draw into the house.
Wait only. Get out, yes.
Matt calling really hard for line, sweepers are on it. Looks like it's going to be really light as well. I don't think it's going to get there. Hold short. This is going to tap their own out. Still sitting 2-3.
Yeah.
Andy calling for a draw behind. This is John Salmon's first stone, the vice skip for Ardsley.
John, you want to come the other way? All right, let's come the other way. Yeah, all the way hard.
Stand corrected, he's not coming. He's going to try and hit that yellow stone.
Yes!
Andy calling for line again. Sweepers on it hard.
Yes!
Looks like they held the line pretty well. He's going to get the hit. He's going to hit it on the correct side, too. Not enough of a roll. But now that makes Ardsley sitting 1-2. Andrew Hutt with his first stone. Or sorry, his second stone for Philly. Super's on it hard again. He's going to get a piece, and he's going to roll behind, and it's going to stick into the back of the forefoot. That's a great shot by the vice skip, Andrew Hutt, for the Glessner ring. Here comes John Salmon with his second stone for the Ardsley ring.
Try and open it up.
Glessner sitting in pretty good shape here with a shot stone well protected in the center of the back of the forefoot. He's going to call on guards to plug up the draw on the right side of the house. Michael's rock is away. Nothing on line yet. Sweepers are on it. It's starting to curl. It's starting to overcurl quite a bit. It's also looking pretty light. It's not going to accomplish what they wanted to do. See if it even made it over. And that's a hog stone. It's a tough break for the Glessner ring. Andy and John now eyeing up what they want to do. That center of the sheet is full of granite. And then we got the whole. John's trying to talk to Andy to maybe draw to the center of the house. Gives him the line, and that's what they're going to do. So here comes Matt Schiner down the rink for his first stone for the Ardsley rink. It was Matt Schiner. The rock is starting to fade a little bit. It's got to come in. It's really hanging out there. And it's going to wick off the red in the 12-foot and settle into the back 12. Rock didn't move as much as Michael wanted it to. So Philly's going to try and call the exact same shot. Clog up that draw. Here comes Michael's second stone. Again, looking to put a guard up there. The one that he had hogged the first time, hopefully for the Philly rink. There's that line again. It's starting to fall away to the sideline. This one's way wide. It's still hanging out there. Looks like it's just going to get a piece of that red rock in the 12-foot. It's going to come right up to it. There it goes. Not much has changed. Still ours is still Glessner sitting one in the back forefoot. And Andy's going to try and do that draw again. He just needs to get more of the forefoot than Philly. Probably easier said than done. Skip's having a little bit of trouble reading this far outside line. Let's see what Matt can do here. Looks narrow. Ardsley's really going to have to hold that line if they want to be successful. And they did. Here it comes. It's got to come over. Maybe get some backing onto that yellow stone. Here it goes. It's going to sail in. This is a beautiful shot. Nice draw. That's going to be a deuce for Schiner and his Ardsley rink. Really nice draw there. So after one, it's 2-0. Ardsley over Philadelphia. This is the first game that finished their first end, so the other 3 games are still going on. Like I said, everybody, once they hang the scores, I will update you on those games. Comes Seth Alton with his first stone in the second in. Sweepers are just letting it do its own thing. It's going to coast into the 8-foot. It's going to coast into the 4-foot. It's going to coast and touch the button. Billy wants to freeze right to it. Maybe tap it back a touch. Gets him back. This is Larry Knopf, the lead for Philadelphia. His rock is away. Sweepers are on it. Weight's looking pretty nice here. Looks like it's going to come right down to it. They're going to have to pull it in just a touch. Lost its handle, and now it's going the other way. That was looking really nice until it lost its handle. And then it just broke the wrong way they wanted it to. So Matt's going to try and guard that, just that red stone in the center. Here comes Seth Altman with his second stone. We have a scoring update on sheet D. The hometown hotties, skipped by Brandon Corrali, steals 2 in the first. That makes the score 2-0 after 1. Over Alan McNeil, and it's the hat. You're the 2 teams of the Potomac Curling Club. Ozzy needs that to come over to the other side of the center line, and they do. That's a really nice guard there by Seth Altman. Michael wants to do the exact same shot, just coming from the other side. Scoring update on the C sheet. The Yang rink steals 2 in the first, making it 2-0. Ardsley, the Yang rink against the Hebert rink from Broomstown. Back to the action on B. Here comes the rock down for Ardsley. Looks like it's going to sail through, or at least settle into the back of the house. Matt trying to sweep it out, and he's successful. Scoring update on sheet A, Stones Go Boom, skipped by TJ Kasser, also steals a point against Broomba, skipped by Sandberg, also for Potomac. So that score is 1-0. Stones Go Boom over Broomba.
Yeah, now, yes!
Matt's is trying to put some more junk in the front. Sweeper's trying really hard to get it over the hog line. It's going to be close, and they're going to get it over. Nice high guard there by Jeff Klein. Ardsley's been doing a pretty nice job setting up just some muck in the front. Obviously the strategy you want to take when you don't have the hammer. Now the free guard zone is over. Mike Gillespie wants to peel some of this stuff off. Here comes John Gillespie with his break, his shot. They're to knock it off, and they might catch you the back, and they did, splitting the guard and the shot rock out. I think that was a little bit. I don't think that Philadelphia was expecting that would happen, but the result was just fantastic. It does leave the shot rock open for Ardsley to hit and roll behind the center guard, which was the shooter for Philly, but I think that worked out very well for Philadelphia. Here comes Jeff Klein with his second stone, again looking to hit and roll to the center of the house. He's going to get to the wrong side. He'll probably stick around. Not trying his hardest to sweep it out, and again he's successful. Sure rolls to the far side of the 12-foot.
Yes! Yes!
Muggle wants it in behind the center guard. John Gillespie's second shot, the second for the Philadelphia rink. like they're going to be going with plan B. They're going to try and get a piece of that red rock. And they just get enough, and it's going to roll behind to the center in back 8. It's pretty covered by both guards. But there's plenty of room for Archie to draw behind, and that's what they're going to do. John Salmon, the vice skip for Ardsley. Again, looking to draw behind the center guards. It's hanging out. It's not coming over. He leaves it short. Michael wants to come in as well, behind their center guard. Got one in the house. This is Andrew Hutt. Andrew Hutt. His first stone. Looks very wide. And it is. It was quite wide coming out of his hand. It didn't move too much either. That's going to sit right in front of the tee line on the 12-foot. It's going to give the Ardsley ring something to hit, possibly roll behind. That's not going to move over. It was narrow from the start, and it's a flash. So hopefully Philadelphia looking to capitalize on the miss. Michael Gillespie wants to draw behind that center guard, top 8. This is Andrew Hutt's second stone for Philadelphia, the vice skip. He's out, and the rock's away. Again, looking wide and heavy. I wager Matt's going to have no problem sweeping this out of the house. That's a flash stone. That gives Ardsley a second chance if it's hit and roll to the center.
He is okay, too, Ken. He is okay. Up 4. Gotta get that roll.
Push one back about back line weight. A little bit less so big too.
Steal.
Gotta use hands against it. Where is it? Yes. If nothing else, just blow this up.
And Matt Schiner, the skip for Ardsley's rock, is away. Again, looking to hit on that yellow on the 12-foot just in front of the tee line and ideally try to roll behind. That's not going to move either. That's going to flash. Philly needs to try again, capitalize. This time they're just going to probably guard. That's what they're looking at. I like the call. Because Ardsley now can try to draw to the center instead of trying to hit and roll, which they've been unsuccessful twice. Top 12 would be ideal because it would be guarding the draw and it would be scoring. That would really cut down the options for Ardsley once Matt Schiner gets a second stone.
How much can you see?
Good chance, too, they could place it in the right position where the hit and roll is going to be very difficult as well. So this is a pretty important shot for Michael, even though he's sitting 2 in the house. And if he comes in, too, that's also a nice call. Again, makes it very difficult with a Schiner ring because he'll have to follow that down if he doesn't manage to touch the forefoot and get the right cover. Looks heavy. Looks very, very heavy. I think Ardsley's going to get a second chance here, or a third chance. And it is. So, they're going to try the, looks like they're going to try the hit roll again. I couldn't quite tell from what Matt was saying to John. I personally like to draw now, but I mean, if they do hit it and roll, it's going to be significantly more successful. If they do miss the draw, they're conceding the second point there. But if they manage to get their draw successful, it's going to force Michael to try to draw with him. And they're going to play the hit again. Line on this one is significantly better. It's going to hit it. It's going to leave it open. That gives the Glessner ring the choice if they want to hit that 12-foot stick or if they just want to draw and try to bite a piece of the 8. Philly is sitting 1, so they're at least going to get 1 out of this, barring some disaster. Being on those side of those disasters, I know it's certainly possible. But the calls all depends on what Michael Glessner is more comfortable with right now. Drawing to the house or just hitting and sticking.
I got all of this, right? I have all of this, yes? All that? Yeah, all the front one.
He's playing the hit. He's wide. It's hard to do that far outside, but he is wide. And that is going to flash. That's 1 for Philadelphia. So after 2, the score is Schiner from Ardsley 2, Glessner from Philadelphia 1. This rink is playing faster than the others, so the other 3 rinks or the other 3 games are still finishing up their second ends. Once they hang the scores, we will let you know. Here's the first stone for Philadelphia. In the third end, Larry Knopf looking for a center guard.
Yes! Yes!
It's coming in.
Up!
And that's going to just bite the forefoot. Mal wants to get rid of that. Seth Altman with his first stone of the third end, looking to hit the shot that Larry Knopf gets through. Now calling hard for line. It's starting to fade, but it's going to get a good chunk of it. Nice sweeping by the Ardsley ring. And it's going to roll right and touch the button. That was pretty good sweeping there by Ardsley. It was starting to really fade when it broke off, but they were able to hold the line pretty well. And a good line call too by Matt. Here comes Larry Knopf with his second stone. His rock is away. His rock is away. going to settle right to it and freeze. It's going to cover the pin for Ardsley. But most of that is available to hit. That one's calling for a heavy draw for Jeff Klein. Nope, for Seth Altman, excuse me. Maybe try to chip the yellow out. Depending where the shooter goes, it could set up a double for Philly.
Yes, please.
Ardsley hitting that rock hard again. Line's looking nice. It's going to come across and over curl. And come up short. So Michael wants the second, John Gillespie, to throw a heavy draw, come right to that red rock that's covering most of the button. Maybe tap it back just a touch. If he's successful, that'll sit him 1 and 2. And he'll have backing. John's rock is coming down the sheet. It has to move. And it's not going to the way they want. Oh, there it goes. It did cut at the end. Pretty nice shot. Does put Philly shot rock.
That was a 70.
And Ardsley sitting 2 and 3.
Try the chip. Control.
Matt calling for Jeff Klein to chip that yellow out. Spill it between the 2 reds. Shooter will probably just head over to where the yellow is in the back 12, or not spill out. Probably thinking back line, wait for this. Jeff's rock is away.
Yes, please. 3, 4, 4, 5.
Matt calling hard for line. Ardsley again is holding it. They're going to get a piece of it. And they are going to chip it just back enough. So Ardsley is now shot rock. That was a really nice shot there by Jeff Klein. So Ardsley sitting 1, Philly sitting 2, Ardsley sitting 3, 4, Philly sitting 5. 2 shot rock, the shot rock and the second rock behind the T line. So Philly's going to try and throw into that pocket over there. Got to move, it didn't come over, and that's going to flash through.
Yes. A little wide. Get it back. All the way hard. Yes, yes.
And Schiner wants to capitalize on that miss. He's got shot stone. He wants to put it top 8. It's going to make the draw really difficult, and if he keeps it there, they can use that to tap it later in the end. We have a scoring update on sheet D. Crawley Rink, the hometown hotties, steal another one in the second. That makes the score 3-0 over Allen McNeil's. It's in the hat. Or it's the hat, excuse me. Second end is concluded for the C sheet game between Hebert and Yang. They have not hung the score. Once they do, I will let you know what that is. Sweepers are on this shot. It's looking a touch light. It's still a pretty good shot, though. You can still tap that up for 2 if they need to. He wanted full 8. He got a piece of the 8, so we're not going to be too picky. Did make the draw more difficult. Michael Glessner wants Andrew Hutt to run one of those reds into the yellow. If he hits this, they'll be sitting pretty right now. Starting to break. It's going to hit the shooter that was just thrown, and it's going to pop out 2 reds that Ardsley had, but neither of them really meant much.
Back.
And Schiner wants to put it right back. Let's see if John Salmon can do what Jeff Klein previously did. This is the vice skip for Ardsley. While that rock is making its way down the ice, the score has been hung on sheet C. Ebert Rink got 1 in the second. That makes the score 2-1. Yank Ardsley over Ebert from Broomstones. Scoring update on sheet A. Broomba gets a, looks like a 5 spot against Stones Go Boom. So that score is now 5-1. Sandberg over Kasser through 2. Andrew Hutt is going to try to run the red rock into the yellow, pop that out. Nope, I take that back. Why would he want to do that? Because he's yellow stones, excuse me. So the rock is away. Sweepers are on it hard. They need to hit it to the, it looks like it's going onto the wrong side. I hope it might jam on that yellow. Now they're going to chip it away. It doesn't really accomplish much. The house is still open. Ards is still sitting 1. Matt Shiner's going to go for a controlled weight hit on the yellow stone. Now that's going to put still behind the tee line. So if he's successful in the shooter rolls, that is going to give a pocket for the Glessner ring to draw into. Super Rick is really hard here to keep the line. We're now going to go to plane B, which is the in-off off of the red stone in the 8-foot. That's going to overcurl as well. That's going to just pop that out the back.
Yes. Hard.
John looked narrow from the start. Michael's got plenty of backing for a draw to the 4-foot, so he can be a little bit heavy if he needs to. Ideally, he wants to be right on the tee line. If he is back and falls right into the center of those, Matt Schiner can do the same thing and draw in. I think there's enough space for maybe 1.5 to 2 rocks. And if Michael's heavy, he can tap the red out. But again, that's going to have a nice big pocket for Schiner to draw into. Or he could even double him out, depending on how far the red rock goes. If he gets it out. So here comes Michael Glessner, the skip for the Philly rink, throwing his first stone in the 3rd. He's got a lot of heat on this one. Pretty wide. It has to work a lot. With this weight, I don't think it's going to do it. He's going to flash. Or no, he's going to hit the rock in the back, excuse me. I anticipated that before I even looked at it. I'm trying to looking to draw into that. Maybe a heavy tap would be nice too. Again, he'll be sitting 1, 2, and 3 if he's able to get that red rock, or able to get that yellow rock out of the 8-foot. Good communication by Matt there, talking to his front end, discussing possible plan Bs or plan Cs. I think that's what a good skip is always aware of those plan Bs and plan Cs, and not only when he's calling line or when he's calling shots coming down the ice, but when he's shooting as well and letting his front end know this is what could possibly happen. So be aware of that. So I'd like that communication between Matt and his front end. Here comes his first rock at the 3rd end. It's hanging. It's got to come over, and there it goes. It's starting to cut now. Please. Could be a touch short. It's coasting in, coasting in, coasting in. Are they going to get a piece of the 4-foot? They're not. They're going to leave it short. Not the end of the world. Does protect the shot stone. now Matt's looking to hit the yellow rock coming the other way. It's not completely exposed, but it's mostly exposed. So Ardsley's sitting 1, Philly's sitting 2. Ardsley also sitting 3 and 4. Michael Glessner skipped Philly with his second shot in the third end. Rock is away.
Yes, yes. Hard, hard.
Philly calling for line. It's going to over curl. And it's going to sail, and it's going to get swept by John through the 4-foot into the 8-foot. So Matt Schiner is likely going to try to do the exact same thing. A heavy draw just to tap that yellow rock out. Matt deciding whether or not Michael's shooter is the third shot. From this vantage point, I believe Philly is number 4. No, I think they're actually third shot. They're third shot. So Matt just looking to draw for his deuce. He needs to bite the 4-foot. If he's narrow or heavy, he could tap that red that's in the 8-foot in. Here it comes.
Yeah. Sweep it down to this one. Don't let it overcurl.
He could sit on that yellow one. It's going to overcurl a touch, but it's going to hang around, hit that yellow, and Matt's going to get 2. Again, nice shot by Matt Schiner. When he's had the hammer, he's been able to capitalize. So that makes the score 4-1. The Ardsley ring skipped by Matt Schiner over Michael Glessner's Philadelphia ring. Matt now is calling for Seth to throw a center guard. Rocks away. Looks like a guard from this vantage point. It does need to slow down a touch, and it will. It's going to be a nice stone. Going to drag it in, not worry about getting it in the house, but they're going to pull it in pretty close to it.
Good, Seth. Good shot.
It's a really nice shot there by Seth Altman. Textbook centerline guard. Michael Gillespie calling for it in the 12-foot to the outside. Here comes Larry Knock with his first stone at the 4th end. Again, looking for a draw to the 12-foot in front of the above the tee line. Sweepers like the weight. Now they're on it. It's starting to really bite. Matt might have been Michael might have been a touch late on the line call, because once it started to snap over, it also slowed down significantly. Matt wants to come in behind that beautifully placed center guard that Seth just threw. So here comes Seth Altman to lead with his second stone. Rock is away. Plenty of space. Gonna have to get the brakes on it, and it just did. Is that gonna get by the guard? It is not gonna get by the guard. It's going to tick off and it's going to float into the house. That gives Michael the opportunity to hit and roll. Michael's right behind the tee line, and that's what Michael's going to call. Going to call a hit and roll over to the left to that center guard. Well, slightly off center guard now that Seth just tapped away. This is John Gillespie, the second for the Glessner rink. Sweepers are on it, looks narrow. Trying their darndest to hold it. It might wick off of that guard, it's going to spill away. Not trying to get it out of the house, and he is successful. Can't tell whether or not that guard is now biting in the top 12. That was narrow from the start.
Shot, Jeff. Real nice. Real nice.
So they just placed the center guard to cover shot rock, which is behind the tee line. Michael Glessner wants to get rid of that.
Yes!
Sweepers are on it for line. Looks narrow. They're trying their best to hold it, but they're going to be unsuccessful, and it's going to flash on through. So a mistake by the Philly rink. Here it means Ardley's going to try to capitalize by putting up another guard. But top 12 biter wouldn't be too bad. It doesn't look like it's going to have the weight to do that. Sweepers are pulling it in as tight as they possibly can. Matt wants that 12-foot biter. Don't think he's going to get it, but still the placement was pretty nice there by Jeff Klein. Matt seems to like it. Okay, Michael wants to get a second crack at that guard. Here comes the stone for Philly. It's very wide, but he's going to hit this other guard that came out. That might hit the shooter. It's going to peel the guard away, but the first guard that he hit is going to now drift into the house. That makes Ardsley sitting 1, 2, 3, but it's really close. Got a scoring update on sheet D. The Corrales rink steals another one, making the score 4-0 through 3. Other updates again through 2 ends on sheet A. The score is 5-1. Sandberg over Kasser. On sheet C through 2, the score is 2-1. Yang from Ardsley over Hebert from Broomstones. Those of you who have joined in earlier or a little bit late, I did want to preface that I do not have access to the chat feature today. So for those of you who have been having comments or questions, I have not been ignoring you, I just haven't been able to see it. I'll do my best to update everyone on the scores as much as possible. Once the teams hang the scores, I will let you know immediately. And that being said, though, everybody who is chatting and watching, I just want to say thank you for checking us out. We got a full slate of games today, and most of them tomorrow as well. Our finals start at 2:30. That's a 10-end game. Myself and David Bykowski will be calling that game. So hopefully you can tune in tomorrow afternoon. Okay, Philly takes the second stone out of the house. They're now sitting sitting in the second shot. The shot rock that's in the 4-foot has been sitting there for a while. If I was a betting man, I would wager Matt wants to guard that, and he does. So here comes John Salmon with his stone. Again, looking to throw a guard, guarding that shot stone just behind the tee line.
Yes, for line!
Rocks away. Matt thinks it's narrow. The announcer does too. Ardsley trying their hardest to hold the line. They're doing a pretty nice job, but not enough. It's going to cover a small piece of it. Philly can get to it on one side. Michael's eyeing it up. He wants to do a heavy draw down to it. This is Andrew Hutt throwing his stone for Philly. Scoring update on sheet A, the third end is concluded. The Sandberg rink steals 3, making the score 8-1 over Kasser. Scoring update on sheet C, the third end is concluded. Ebert steals a single, tying the score at 2. So that's 2-2 through 3 ends on sheet C. That shot stone in the back 4 is still sitting around. So once again, Schiner rink is going to try and guard that up. Just putting the center guard would be ideal. What if they want to get really greedy and maybe freeze to it? But I think the center guard is a conservative and safe shot, and the wisest of the two. The rock's got to come over. It's looking a bit wide. It needs to finish. Looks like that's going to sail into the house. I hope the angle's not too high. Gillespie looking to draw down that since it didn't guard the shot stone. The more aggressive made for TV shot, I think, is the double. I don't know how confident he is in throwing that. He's eyeing it up. I like it.
Yes, line. Where is it?
So it looks like Michael Glessner is going to try and throw that. The Hutt still hasn't put the broom down. It's like I guess he's just trying to figure it out on his own where he wants the ice to go. Okay, so they're going to try to do the double. Come across the face of the red rock. Shooter's going to roll over to the shot rock on the back of the 4-foot. And if he's successful, he'll also be behind cover. And in front of the tee line. So a big shot here could have a great result for the Glessner ring. Rock is away. It has a pretty lazy handle. This is like it is going to hit that rock, but it's going to hit it on the wrong side. Shooter's going to rest on the other yellow stone. That still leaves the shot rock in the back 4 for the Schiner rink. They're going to throw the guard again. So Ardsley's sitting 1. Glessner, the Philadelphia rink, has the hammer. They're sitting 2 and 3. This is a pretty important guard for Matt Schiner. If he's able to guard it, it's going to make it very difficult for Philly to get down there. If he's unable to, a heavy draw could certainly give them 1, and if he taps it hard enough, They could get 2, maybe a thin chance they'd even get 3. So big shot here for the archery ring. Matt's rock is away. Again, looking to guard that shot stone on the back 4. Nobody's touching it. Weight from this vantage point is looking pretty nice. And he guards that shot. Now Michael's got a couple of options here. He's feeling really bold. He could come through that angled court, maybe try to hit it out. From this vantage point, I don't really like it too much. Or he could just draw behind that center guard and try to get a piece of the button, or at least out count it and get a single. Glessner's eyeing up. And this is Michael Glessner, the skip for the Philadelphia rink. Throwing the hammer in the 4th end. Glessner's shot is away.
Yes,
Came pretty narrow out of his hand. Knopfman Gillespie trying their darnest to hold it. It's going to rub off of that guard. It's going to spill away. And Arlington's going to get a steal of 1. So that now makes the score 5-1 halfway through the game. And while I start up the 5th end, I will be back in a short second. Just give me about, I don't know, maybe a minute, and I will be back. So stay tuned, keep watching, and I'll be calling this game right when I return. Thanks. Hi everybody, I'm back. Sorry for that quick delay. Let's see here, what's going on? Got an Ardsley Rock in the back 12. Got a Philly gentleman ready to throw. And we're off.
I like the guard. Like the guard still? Yeah, I like that.
Philly's going to leave that short.
Line is good. Where's the weight?
Matt Schiner wants to come in behind that. I guess you could call it a guard that was thrown by Philly.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 come on.
This is Jeff Klein's rock for Ardsley. Rock is away. Again, looking to draw behind that yellow guard on the same side of where the shot rock is for Ardsley.
Take out. Take out. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Weight looks nice. Sweepers are really hitting it hard to try and bury that behind the yellow guard. They got a piece of it, but not all of it. It's a good try there by Jeff Klein. Okay, and Glessner wants to get rid of that. Sweepers are on hard for line. I think they're going to catch a piece of it, and they do. Very nice shot there by Philly. Did exactly what he wanted to do, and, and that shooter's going to stick around and bite a piece of the 12. Those pesky little nibblers can always seem to bite you as the end goes along. We'll see how that thing pans out. It's advantageous for Philadelphia since they do have the hammer in this end. Here comes Jeff Klein with his second stone of the 5th end.
Yes, please.
Line's good.
Yes, please.
Team, I want in the half.
Yes.
Can't quite see where that is from my vantage point. But it's going to be a guard. Michael Glessner wants to come in behind those two rocks in the front right side of the house. Here comes John Gillespie's second stone of the 5th end. Scoring update on sheet D. The McNeil ring finally gets on the board here. So they get a single. That makes the score 4-1, Corrali over McNeil through 4 ends. No scoring updates on C or A. They are still finishing up their 4th ends. Once they do, I will let you know. Here comes John Salmon, the vice skip for the Ardsley ring, throwing his first stone.
Yes, please.
Ardsley sitting 1 with the shot rock in the back 12. Philly sitting 2-3.
Yes, please.
Looking to try and bury that again behind the yellow guard out front. It's going to hang out there, and it's going to sit
Perfect shot, John. Thank you.
right at the 12 foot. Okay. Matt likes that. And Michael Glessner wants to get rid of it.
Yes, there it is.
Line's looking pretty nice here. It's going to get most of it, not all of it. And it's going to tuck it behind that guard. So that makes Philly sitting 2, 3, 4. Archie still has that pesky rock in the back 12. And Shiner's figuring out what he wants to do here. I think he wants to throw the exact same shot. Couldn't quite tell, but I think that would be the correct call.
Red line is good. 2 is not bad. Tap it a little bit. Let it come over. Let it come over.
Seems to be really hanging out away from that center line. Comes John Stone. It's settling. Glessner's trying to sweep it through, and Artsy sitting 1 and 2. That's just barely touching the back 8. So Michael Glessner has still a pretty open house for him to draw behind that yellow guard. All he needs to do is get most of it in the 8-foot. And there was also an opportunity for him, this vantage point, to try and actually double out those 2 reds in the back. Plus side, you get 5 in the house. Downside, you do have an open ice for Ardsley. This guy needs to come over a ton. I don't think it's going to do it. It's going to settle in for shot Stone right on the back of the behind the tee line on the 4-foot, but it's wide open. There's a jam possibility, but he has to hit it on the right side. Matt's looking for the right call. He wants to go across the face of the Stone, pop the yellow out to the left, and roll the shooter behind the guard, or behind the yellow on the 12-foot. If he's successful, he could be sitting 1, 2, and 3. I am watching over here on sheet A. Everybody's putting the stones back. The skips are coming down to the sheet. The score was 8-1 after 3. I don't know what happened in the 4th, but whatever it did, TJ Kasser concedes the game, so that's going to be a win for Brian Sandberg. That's team Broomba. That was a quick game over there on A. So TJ's going to go down to the C vent, and Sandberg and his crew are going to go and advance through the B bracket. Back to the action on sheet A. Matt Schiner is coming down with his rock. The sweepers are holding the line, and he's going to barely get a piece of it, and he's going to roll to the back, sitting 1, 2, and 3. He did what he wanted to do. Nice shot there by Matt, and a good line call by John, and some nice sweeping by the front end of Seth and Jeff. See if I can find out what the score was on sheet A, what the final was. It was a pretty lopsided victory for the Sandberg rink. But for those who are curious, I will try to find that out. Philly's trying to run that guard. He gets 1, he gets 2. It's a pretty nice shot there by Michael Glessner. He still leaves the house wide open. He left the shot stone exposed. He took 1 off the table for Philadelphia, for Ardsley. Matt just needs to get a guard in and he'll be okay. Again, another situation here where a successful guard will put Ardsley in the driver's seat. If he's unsuccessful, the game could completely change. So I just found out the final score of that game on sheet A. It appears that the Sandberg rink stole another 5. That made the final score 13-1. Arts sweepers trying to pull that guard as tight as they possibly can.
Come around it.
Try to drag it over. I think they made the shot. It wasn't terribly successful, unfortunately. Just needed to come over a little bit more to the other side of the center line. Shot rock is exposed.
Okay, nice, good.
I don't think they could get the double. That yellow rock on the right side of the 12 foot is an unideal location for it. However, Philly could at least get one out of this.
Like here. Three.
Looks like Michael does not like the hit. He's going to try and, I guess, draw down to hit full 8. Kind of question that call a little bit, because from this vantage point, he's got a straight hit for 1. I don't see how he gets the double from this side at all. The angles just aren't right. But maybe he knows something I don't. So here comes Michael Glessner with his hammer in the 5th. Down 5-1.
Take out. Control.
It's pretty heavy. Right how he wants it. Sweepers are off. And you're watching the line. Now he gets them on it. It looks like he's going for a tap. And I think he might be successful. And here it comes. Hey, that's a great shot there by Michael Glessner for a single. All right, that makes the score now 5-2 through 5 ends. Ardsley, the Matt Schiner rink over Philadelphia, the Michael Glessner rink. Scoring update on sheet C. Todd Hebert steals another single in the 4th, makes the score 3-2 now. He's in front of Yushi Yang and the Ardsley rink.
Oh, yeah. Yes, line.
So I think that was an interesting way for Michael Glessner to get a single. I kind of like the straight hit down the center, but clearly he proved me wrong by getting to tap one of his yellows into the house. So he really earned his point there.
Same way, take out. Same way.
Larry Knott's rink, Larry Knott's first rock is going to sail through the house. So here comes Matt Schiner in his Ardsley rink with the hammer, looking to draw to the inside into the house just above the tee line. Seth Altman, the lead for Matt Shiner's rink, with his first rock, and the rock is away. Weight looks pretty nice here. Can't see it getting above the tee, behind the tee line, and it doesn't. That's just going to bite the 8. Pretty nice shot there for Seth Altman. Michael Glessner wants to get rid of it and stick around. Here comes Larry Knott, the lead for the Philadelphia rink, with his second stone in the 5th and the 6th. Trailing by 3, 5-2. It's going to hit it right on the one side of the shot, the stone there. It's going to spill out. Larry's shot's going to stick around. And the 8-foot.
Nose. Normal. Yeah, bring it back. On the nose? Yeah, on the nose.
Seth Altman trying to get rid of that stone as well. Sweepers are on it hard for line. Matt encouraging them on to hold the line. It's going to be close, but it's going to overcurl and fall away. Just whiffs by. So that's a miss for Ardsley. Really looking to capitalize, wants to guard that shot. This is John Gillespie with his first stone in the 6th end for Philly. Again, looking to guard that rock in the 8-foot. That was the result of a hit from Larry Knopf. This looks pretty nice. Really nice weight, really nice line. They're going to drag it in a little bit to maybe get a biter. They don't, but the line's really good. That's a good guard there for John Gillespie. Matt likes it so much, he wants to get rid of it. Here comes Jeff Klein, the second for Ardsley. Just wanted to peel that guy away. Matt calling for line again. Sweepers are pounding that ice, trying to get that rock straightened out. Think they're going to chip it away, and they do. And it hits the the shot stone too, and spills out. That's a bonus there for for Matt and crew. Very nice shot that gives him a center guard as well. Great line called by there by Matt. Nice sweeping by John and Seth. So Philly wants to use that center guard and come around it. Shot is away. This is second John Gillespie's second stone in the 6th end. Looks heavy. And it is. Matt getting a couple courtesy sweeps out of it. It's going to sail away. And Matt wants Jeff to come behind that center guard. Coming the other way. Here comes Jeff Klein's second stone in the 6th end. Again, just looking to play a come around behind that tight center guard. Starting to break. Sweepers are on it. This is going to be tight. Philly is actually going to just barely kiss that guard and tap it into the 12-foot, leaving it mostly exposed. Michael lining up his options here. He wants to come in. This is Andrew Hutt, the vice skip for the Philadelphia Rink, throwing his first stone in the 6th, looking to come around those 2 red rocks, one center guard, one in the center of the 12-foot. It's turning nicely. Might be a touch heavy. I think it's going to be in the back of the house. Might try to pull it back as far as he can. And he's going to get most of the 8-foot in the back behind the tee line.
All right, Judge, down to it.
Matt wants to follow that exact same line and put it right in front. Got a scoring update on sheet D. The Corrali Rink, the hometown hotties, get a single in the 5th. That makes the score now 5-1 through 5 ends. Corrali over McNeil. These are both Potomac clubs. John Luxneri is going to crash into that center guard, but that is going to promote it into the house and just barely bite the 4-foot. A really nice result for Ardsley. Not what they called, but the result couldn't have been better. That shot stone, and that is totally protected by that center guard. However, Michael Glessner wants to hit the rock that's in the 12 foot, maybe pop both of them out. Here comes Andrew Hutt with his second stone in the 6th end. Again, looking to run that red in the 12 foot into the red in the 4 foot that was tapped in by John Salmon. It's got to come over. I don't think it's going to. He's going to flash. Matt Schiner looking for a guard to take that hit away. They're sitting one. Wouldn't mind having a single when you're up by 3 with only 2 ends to play. Time-wise, it's going to be pretty close, but I think they're going to get all 8 if they need to.
Yes for line. Yep. Yes for line. Yes for line.
Matt looking for the line. They're kind of holding it. Not a bad placement.
Good shot, John.
Matt seems to be happy with it. Does make the hit a little bit harder. But they're still eyeing it up here. Glessner and Hutt discussing what to do. So Glessner's going to try the same shot that Andrew was wide on. Again, he's going to try and hit that red in the 12 foot, crash that into the red in the 4 foot, maybe spill both of them out. If he is successful, we'll be sitting 1. I don't know what's going to happen with the shooter. It sticks around. It could be 2, but I think that red rock in a 12 foot, once it hits the 4, is going to stick around as well, unless he puts a lot of heat on it. Here comes Michael Glessner's stone in the 6th end. Sweeper's on it hard. Line looks kind of tight. He's going to crash into these guards. Just barely wicks off of that red guard. That was really close. Now John and Matt are discussing what they want to do with their first stone for the skip. Couldn't quite tell from the conversation. A couple of options here. You can throw the guard that they threw out previously. Another thing you could do is tap that rock in the 12 foot into the house. I think that's a little bit more aggressive. Sure, everyone watching on the chat has their theories, knows what's going on. Hey, we got a scoring update on sheet C. Yushi Yang's Ardsley ring took a deuce in the 5th, so that makes the score 4-3. Yushi Yang from Ardsley over Todd Ebert from Broomstones. And again, that's 4-3. Yara Ardsley over Broomstones through 5. John calling hard for line. The Sweepers just get right on it. Looking like some pretty good weight here for a tap. He's going to get it. He's going to sit 1-2. That was a really nice touch by Matt Schiner. So, Ardsley with the hammer sitting 1-2 and with a 3-point lead through 5 ends. That placement on that stone was perfect. It's going to be really tough for Philly to get rid of something. That second stone for Ardsley has jam written all over it, running into that yellow in the back. That would be the worst case scenario for Philadelphia if they accidentally tap that yellow out, because there's so many red stones in play there's at least 3 in the house. It's tough to see if that biter in the top 12 on the right-hand side is in. I can't quite tell from this vantage point. I don't think it is. But nonetheless, since Ardsley has the hammer and plenty of rocks in play and Philly has very little, not only do they need to try and eliminate some of the shot stones for Ardsley, Philadelphia also needs to make sure that that yellow stone stays in the house. So Glessner and Hutt are still eyeing their options. He's going to throw some heat at it, I think. Try to pop some of those out. But again, you just hope for, if you're rooting for Philly, that red rock that's the second shot doesn't come back and jam on that yellow. If he manages to hit that red rock that's the top of the 12-foot at the right angle and pop them both away, split those 2 on the 4-foot both away, that would be fantastic. It's still going to leave Ardsley sitting 1, but that will have taken 1 off of the board. So we'll see what Glessner can do here with his first shot in the 6th. This could be a make or break for the Philly rink. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a second stone. My apologies. Rock is away. Trying to hold that line. Looks a bit narrow. Is it going to hit that guard? It's not. Okay, so it's going to take 1 off. The results really haven't changed too much. Ardsley still sitting 1 and 2. Ardsley has the hammer. All they need to do is they could draw for 3. Matt's also eyeing up the run back hit. That would, I still think that would give him 3, because I don't think that 12-foot, I don't think that shot at the top of the 12-foot on the right side is biting. So he's just going to try and draw down to that second shot rock, use it as some backing. And if he's successful, he'll get 1, 2, and 3 and take a commanding lead through 6. I do like the call because he does have the backing there. And if he gets most of it in the 8, he should get his 3.
I need you to draw this line. There is perfect.
So barring a complete disaster, Ardsley's going to take at least a 5-point lead coming into the 7th end. But Matt's going to try and add another one to make it a 6-point lead. Rocks away. Looks a touch light. Seth and Jeff are trying their darnest to get it up there. I think they're going to leave it short. They could prove me wrong. And they do leave it short. So that's a 2 for Ardsley in the 6th end. That makes the score 7-2. Matt Shiner's ring from the Ardsley Curling Club over Michael Glessner from the Philadelphia Curling Club. While we've got a break, if nobody had heard the scoring updates on the other 2 sheets, on sheet C, the Yushi Yang ring from the Ardsley Curling Club is up 4-3 through 5 ends against Todd Ebert and his Broomstones team. And on sheet D, we've got 2 Potomac teams. Brandon Corrali and his hometown Hotties are up 5-1 against Alan McNeil and his crew. The game on sheet A was finished after 4 ends, 13-1 final, Sandberg over Kasser. Here comes Seth Altman throwing lead rocks for Schiner in the 7th end. Got a nice comfortable lead, 7-2. This is a 5 and under men's curling game, so anything could happen. You don't want to put it on cruise control quite just yet. He throws the center guard. Glessner wants to come in. Behind that center guard. This is Larry Knopf, the lead for the Philadelphia Curling Club, throwing his first rock in the 7th. Rock is away, plenty of space. Excuse me. Based on the sweeper's reaction, it looks pretty quick. And that's going to sail through the house. comes South Albany in his second shot. Looks pretty hot. Sweepers are walking pretty swiftly behind it. Here it comes. It's going to prove me wrong. And it's going to sit in the back 4. Glessner wants to come behind it, settle down on that rock that was just thrown. He's going to come the other way, since it did come across the other side of the center guard. This is layering off second stone in the 7th. Again, the score is 7-2, Ardsley over Philly. He's very narrow. He's going to crash onto that red guard. Don't know if he's going to tap it into the house. Just going to barely get a piece of it. He's actually going to cover that still completely. Not the shot Philly was looking for. Matt Shiner's rink is calling for a center guard. They're up 5. They've got 1 in the house, very well covered. Second guard will prevent anything more from coming into the house. Probably force Philadelphia to try to tap that yellow in or to peel something off. I think it's a little too late in the game to start peeling. I think you need to continue to try and put some points into the house. But they could prove me wrong here. Line looks nice. Looks like he's not going to get his guard. Matt thinking plan B. That's going to come and sit right on the side of the shot stone, just barely touching the back 4. That is going to give Philadelphia a pocket to draw into. Here comes John Gillespie, his first rock of the 7th end. Rock is really starting to bite. He's narrow. He's going to wreck on that guard. Going to come across the face of it. Is he going to have enough to tap it in? And it is. So it did tap the guard into the 12th foot for another potential scoring rock, but it did leave the 1 and 2 stones open. And because of that, Matt Schiner is going to have Jeff Klein guard that area. Tough couple of breaks for Philadelphia. When you're down 5, the last thing you want to be doing right now is chasing. And unfortunately for Philly, that's what's happening. Matt Kerr just content just to guard. I think that was a burned stone. So that does open the door up for Philadelphia to try and blow him up. John Gillespie giving the universal curling sign for just throw it really hard and blow things up. Okay, so they've changed the shot actually. Glessner wants him to draw down into it. They're deciding which side to take the rock, what side to shoot from. John wants to go towards the center out. Glessner wants to go the outside in. Okay, now I think they changed the call. Now I think they want to do a tap. It's not going to happen because he's narrow. Okay. It's going to squeak by the guard, and it's going to hit both out. It's going to take the second shot out, and it's going to put Ardsley's second shot now, or their original shot stone, biting the back 8. That puts Philadelphia now a shot rock right on the back part of the button. Rock is pretty well exposed. Matt's calling for a controlled weight hit here for John Salmon, his first stone in the 7th.
Yes, please.
Here it comes.
Yes, please.
Matt politely calling the sweepers to sweep with his yes, please. Trying to hold from this vantage point. It looks like it's going to crash on the shot 12-foot, spill away. Ardsley sitting 2-3. Philadelphia's just sitting with one stone in the house. It's shot rock. Michael Glessner calling for a draw to the top 8. It's going to accomplish two things. It's going to outcount the second shot for Ardsley, and it's also going to guard their shot stone, which is just biting the back button. Here comes Andrew Hutt with his second rock in the 7th. No, it's his first rock in the 7th, excuse me. It's got to snap over. Here it comes. Sweepers are trying to pull it in as deep as they possibly can. They're not going to get it on the 8-foot. They're going to guard some of it, but the opportunity is there for John and Matt to chip the shot stone away. Here it comes. He looks to be a touch wide. It really needs to move over if they want to have the rock do what it wants to do. It's hanging out there. If it doesn't snap over, it's going to crash into that yellow guard. It doesn't. Here it comes. It moved over. It just barely kisses it, but not enough. What it did do, though, is it did move the stone for Philadelphia further in front of the guard. So I don't think they can get to it from a hit. But what they're going to try and do again is throw a draw to the 8-foot to guard the draw for Ardsley and to outcount the second stone, which is barely biting the 12-foot, but completely on the, or mostly on the 8-foot. Sweepers are on it really hard here for weight. Now they're off. It's going to coast in, and he's going to get his 8-foot draw. Really nice shot there by Andrew Hutt. Got a scoring update on sheet D. It appears that the Corrali rink stole 2 in the 6th. That makes the score now 7-1. Corrali's hometown hotties from the Potomac Curling Club over Alan McNeil and his Potomac Curling Club. It's the Hat. Anyway, back to the action on sheet B. Matt Schiner, the skip for the Ardsley rink, looking just to blow some stuff up. Philadelphia threw a nice guard or a nice draw to the 8-foot to sit 2. Andrew's going to hit that yellow guard on the left-hand side. It doesn't really accomplish much. While we were playing, I don't know if anyone had picked up, but the cowbell did ring. It doesn't seem to really affect the game on sheet B or the game on sheet D, but it will affect the game on sheet C, because they're still only in the 6th end. So Hebert is still down 1 through 5. And it looks like they're only going to get 7 ends in. While Glessner's walking down to the hack, I can tell you what's going on here for the game on sheet C. Broomstone is sitting Ardsley is sitting 1, 2, and 3. And Todd is throwing his skip stones. We'll let you know what the result of that is once he throws. Here comes Michael Glessner with his first rock in the 7th. He's sitting 1, 2. He's very wide. He was trying to come after that third stone for Ardsley that's sitting in the back. The weight looked really nice. He's going to manage to get it. Very nice shot there. That snapped over right when it needed to. That's going to have him sit 1, 2, and 3. Philadelphia rink is coming up with some pretty clutch shots here in the 7th end, trying to keep their hopes alive. Remember, they also do have the hammer. They're sitting 1, 2, and 3. 4th shot in the game is Ardsley's. It's on the far end of the 12th foot. That's pretty well exposed. So Matt Schiner looking to hit something here and cut the bleeding off. looking pretty firm. It's got to come over to the center line. Going to wreck on that red? It is. Okay. So the door is wide open here for Philadelphia to try and claw back into this game. They're sitting 1, 2, and 3. Matt has a pretty open draw. All he needs to do is bite a piece of the 8-foot. They'll get a 4 spot. They'll get right back into this game. So this has been a really nice end for Philadelphia, both hitting some clutch shots and capitalizing on some mistakes that Ardley's thrown. Like I had said at the beginning of this end, this is a 5 and under game, a 5 and under tournament, so you can't just expect what appears to be surmountable leads to stick around. It's not guaranteed. Here comes Michael Glessner with his hammer in the 7th, just looking to draw to bite a piece of the 8-foot for 4. Here it comes. Sweepers are walking down with it, so it's certainly not light. Here it comes. Is he going to get it? He's certainly going to get it. Great draw there by Michael Glessner for 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, that being said, coming home in the 8th, it's Philadelphia 6 and Ardsley 7.
Seth, take this out. Anyway. Yeah. 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 All right.
Hey, Cal.
Yes, please.
Slow-mo. Put us on the broom.
Come on, guys.
Hi everybody, again sorry for that brief delay. So we got ourselves a hell of a match here on sheet B. Again, seems to be the trend that most of the games that are featured on the webcast have come down pretty tight. Once again, the score is 7-6. Ardsley over Philadelphia. Ardsley getting a big 4 spot in the 7th. Got a couple of scoring updates on the other 2 sheets. On sheet C, Yu Shi Yang and his Ardsley crew steal a 3 spot. That makes the score 7-3. Ardsley over Broomstones. On sheet D, oh, still the same though. They scored a 2. They still stole a 2 for Corrali in his rink. The score there is 7-1 over McNeil.
All right, Sam, take this out.
Philadelphia has 2 rocks in the house. Matt Schiner calling just to hit something away. Here comes Seth Altman in his 2nd stone. It's got to come over. It's starting to move. It's starting to move. Now it's starting to break hard. They're going to get a piece of it. That's going to come out. Nice shot there by Seth. Philadelphia looking to put another one into the house and split it up.
Nice shot.
Team Glessner's second rock is away. Here it comes. It's going to settle in and bite the forefoot in front of the tee line. Matt Schiner once again still trying to protect his lead. He's up one with the hammer.
Oh, you're on the guard.
Here comes Jeff Klein, his first rock of the 8th. Matt calling for line. He was throwing narrow. The weight looks a little quiet as well. Seth and John are really hitting that ice hard, trying to hold that line. And I think they're going to be pretty successful if he hits it thick enough, which he does. Matt needs to push that through, and he will. Nice sweeping there by John and Seth to hold that line. That was narrow coming out of his hand, but they managed to keep it on line and hit just enough to pop it out of the house. Billy looking to hit that shot that Ardsley just threw and spilled to the right side of the house. Billy holding that line, but I don't think they're going to get it. It's going to kiss. It's going to pop through. Oh, it's going to jam on the yellow. That was a worst case scenario, though, for Philadelphia. So we've got 2 rocks now for Ardsley on the left side of the house. Matt wants to guard those. If he can't, that's a cake double there for Philadelphia. They're lined up really nicely. Here comes Jeff Klein with his second stone coming home. He and the rest of his crew are trying to hold on to a 1-point lead after a beautiful 7th end for Philadelphia when they got 4 right when they needed to. Okay. He's not terribly successful in guarding those 2 stones, so Glessner has a couple of options here. He can either draw behind that center guard, or he can try and sit on the shot stone, which he's calling. The other option, of course, is just to hit the double. I do like this call, but he is sitting on a stone that is on the tee line, not behind the tee line. So we'll see what the Philly rink can do here. Looks pretty hot. We've got shakes on sheet D. I don't know if the 7th end concluded, but the Corrali rink were already up 6 through 6 ends. Bracket. Corrali and his crew are going to. Philadelphia takes 1 off. They're now sitting number 2. Matt Schiner wants John to take that yellow one off of the ice. The rock is away. Looks wide, looks very wide. It's actually fallen off to the wrong side. It's going to sit on the, it's going to hit that other Ardsley stone, pop that out, have them sitting 1 and 3 in the back 12. It's turning into a very interesting end here. Glessner calling for backline weight, come across and tap that red out of the house, or at least get it back far enough where the shooter is going to be shot rock and possibly 2. It's a lot heavier than back weight. He's going to get his red rock. He's going to, oh, okay, that not a bad result. He's now sitting shot stone, but he's pretty well exposed. There is a jam possibility, though, if they hit that at a certain angle. Keep in mind that Ardsley does have the hammer. The house is pretty wide open. And because of that, Matt Schiner wants John Salmon to peel that guard off. The applause you hear is for the game that just concluded on sheet D. Again, that was Brandon Corrali and his hometown Hotties against Alan McNeil, victorious over Alan at least 7-1. I didn't quite catch the 7th end. So Ardsley is successful peeling that guard off. Philly's sitting one wide open. Although the shooter did roll over to another center guard, which is not what they wanted. Gillespie's going to try and take advantage of that and draw behind it. So Michael walks down to the Michael Glessner walks down to the hack, looking to draw and come around that center guard that was just produced by Ardsley. Here comes Glessner's first shot coming home in the 8th.
Where is it?
Looks light from this vantage point. Sweepers disagree. Here it comes. Now the weight actually looks pretty nice, but it's got to come over. It's going to settle right onto a piece of the button, but it is wide open for Ardsley to hit out. You know, and if they hit it on the right, if they hit it on the correct side, that being the left side of the stone, there's a chance they could pop that out to the back right, and the shooter will roll over it and nest on the second stone. So that'll put him shot and take the shot rock out for Philadelphia. Big shot coming up here from Matt Schiner. Philadelphia sitting 1-2, down 1 in the 8th. So here comes Matt Schiner with his first stone in the 8th end.
Yes! Yes!
John calling for line real hard here.
Yes, yes, yes!
Seth and Jeff trying their hardest to keep that line. They're going to crash into that guard. Well, that's a tough break for Ardsley. Okay, so now Philadelphia just needs to guard that shot stone. The guard that was up there that he crashed into guarded the second rock for Philadelphia. So a perfectly lined up center guard can spell success for Philadelphia and make things very difficult for Arley to try and hold on to their 1-point lead in the 8th. This has been quite a turn of events since the 6th end when Ardsley got their 2. Philly wants a guard. Guard that shot stone, biting the button. Michael Glessner is in the hack, ready to throw his guard. Gillespie and Knopf ready to sweep. Here it comes. Glessner's rock is away. Sweeper's walking by it.
No! No!
It's got to snap over to the center.
No!
Weight looks nice. Line looks nice. That's a beaut. That is a beautiful shot there by Michael Glessner, right where they wanted it. So here we are. Shot stone for Schiner. Hey, we've got shakes on sheet C. We'll discuss that while the Ardsley back end is figuring out what to do. Yushi Yang is going to come up victorious in that game. That was a 7-end game due to time constraints. Yeah. Find out what the final score was in that game. I was watching the game here on B, and all of a sudden I saw handshakes on sheet C. So we'll get to that final score in just a second, so hold on, please. So just found out from some of the fans that the Hebert rink was only able to get 1 in the 7th. So that makes the final score Yushi Yang and his Ardsley rink 7, Todd Hebert and his Broomstones rink 4. That round of applause is for the two teams who are coming in. So let's get back to the action here on Sheet B. This is Matt Shiner's final shot. He needs to at least take 1 off in order to force an extra in. If he somehow manages to get them both away, he's going to win the game. Looks like he's going to try and do an out turn and crash on the second stone there for Philadelphia. Maybe if he's lucky, he could pop the shot stone out as well when the shooter rolls behind. Anyway, here comes Matt's rock down the sheet. This is going to be a big shot here. This is going to determine what's going to happen next. Line looks nice. It needs to come over. Is it going to crash on that guard? Oh, it is. Oh, mercy. That's going to do it. Philadelphia is going to claw back and win this game with a steal of 2 in the 8th. 8-7. Wow, what a fantastic game by both rinks. Philadelphia really making the shots when they needed to in that 7th and 8th end. I'll tell you, that 7th end when Michael Glessner got his 4 clearly was the momentum shifter. You could see that starting to happen and happen and happen. And wow, that's a tough loss for Ardsley. They both played a very, very good game. It just seems that Philadelphia played better towards the end. So that's going to advance the Philadelphia rank further into the B bracket, and that is going to drop Matt Schiner and his crew down to the C bracket. So that concludes the 8:45 draw from the National Capital Curling Center. Just to recap, on Sheet A, Broomba defeats Stones Go Boom 13-1. On Sheet B, the Michael Glessner from Philadelphia defeats Matt Schiner 8-7 in 8. On Sheet C, Todd Ebert and his rink lose to the Yang rink from Ardsley 7-4, and Corrali over McNeil 7-1 through 6. So we want to thank you very much for watching this 8:45 draw. We've got an 11:15 coming up in just a bit. We're going to get Ken and Rhonda and the rest of the ice team to prep the ice for the next draw. And I will see you back here shortly. So thanks again from the National Capital Curling Center, the Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel, and we will see you soon.